Yo, guys, welcome to the Boo Podcast. This is International Shades of Fitness, episode 2, with me, Mackers, Ricky, and Simon. How are you guys doing today?
I'm good, Tom. Thanks for having me here
Never
one
be
more
back.
time.
Doing great, doing great. Glad to be here.
What about you,
Well,
Tom?
I'm tired as hell. It's 22 past 12 at night. This is the only way we can get more podcasts out to you because I'm going to Greece, which is, I guess, like, oh no, I'm going to Greece, but
Poor Tom.
poor me indeed. And speaking of me, we are doing a podcast on my change physically over the summer. Obviously, Ricky and Simon were there to witness it. They got some questions for me. We've got a slideshow which Ricky very kindly created for us, and yeah, this is going to be interesting. Obviously, I'm going to kind of be analysed, which will be fun, and hopefully, anything that kind of I say or Ricky or Simon say will help you learn and maybe could help someone in the future who is trying to lose weight or trying to gain muscle or just trying to change. So, do you want to? Should we start with the PowerPoint? Let's get straight into it.
Well, I want to start asking you, how do you feel about this change? Do you feel it as a quick change, or how is the process going?
So it's difficult. I had to change my diet, which and then I had to change. Well, the way I explain to some people is also sorry if I'm quiet. I'm trying to make sure I don't wake up my parents, but I thought I was at a good level of my training program before I went to camp, and then Ricky basically took it another level, to be honest, and I saw probably the most drastic physical changes I've ever been through, ever. Like strength went up so quickly, uh, like physically, I quickly like broader shoulders. My stomach got smaller. My face got thinner. I felt happier. I think as
You
well.
got
It's probably the
tanner.
happiest. Huh?
You got tanner. You got a tan.
The tan helped. Yep, that definitely helped. Sitting on a boat all day probably helped that. But yeah, I think the happiness as well was a big part of it. Big part of it. It's probably one of the happiest summers I've had for a while. So I think that might have helped.
It's good to know. So let's start.
Oof.
The stats. Simon, can you help me read them, please?
Yeah, 22 years old, 6'1" or 187 centimeters. Um, Body weight going from 94 kilograms to 86, which I believe is what
I'll do the maths quickly. Hang on a sec.
202 pounds to
206 pounds, which was,
206 pounds to 192.
and then
Yeah, it's
yeah,
190.
180, down to 189.
Okay,
So yeah, the picture on the left is me, summer 2021. The picture of me in the middle is after my operation in 2019, and then obviously that picture on the right is well me recently.
Recently. Yeah. Like yesterday, right?
It was about a couple of weeks ago.
I know we
Tom,
covered this in the last episode, but I feel that since it's your episode, we should do a little bit of a deeper dive into it. Why exactly, and I mean exactly, did you decide to start fitness?
I just enjoy it. I think as well. It's just something I enjoy doing. For me, I prefer working out with people as well. Um, that's always been a thing for me. I remember at school, I was working out with. I was always working out with a friend. Then at university, I was always working out with a friend, and then obviously at camp, I was working out with you guys. I feel like for me, I like doing it with people, and then obviously you kind of when you see your friend progressing and doing well, and then you're doing well, it just creates that very positive atmosphere, which I like. And I mean, I also like looking good. I'm going to be honest. Who doesn't like looking good? That obviously helps. And
Yeah,
I'm
and
just
that
going
fast.
to, and yeah, and to change that quickly
Yeah.
because I mean, I wasn't far off the picture on the left at the start of camp, to be honest. I think the haircut changed as well, which was good. I'm very happy with my change of haircut.
Yeah, that's true too. So, mm, for how long do you think that this process started having an impact in your life? When was the point when you said, "I'm starting to change"?
I think it was 2, maybe 3 weeks into it.
Okay.
Maybe, I think more like three, because the first week we only really were like getting to know each other and weren't properly training, and then the second week we started to really get into it, and then by the end of the third week, I felt like well, I wasn't in pain anymore. That was a big one. My body was not on fire. Was the big factor in week three. Uh, but yeah, no, I felt. I don't know. I felt because the crazy thing is, which people don't understand as well. We were waking up at 6 a.m. in the morning so that we could fit in a gym session before we had a full day's work
Yeah,
from like 8 till 10:30 p.m.
I'm thinking
Which
that
is
that helped as well. That active lifestyle, really helped a lot
yeah,
to get you that fit,
yeah.
to
Well, I mean,
get you
yeah.
to
I
lose
think
weight.
yeah. On top of obviously the gymming really like properly hard and hitting really good weights. I mean, I was walking everywhere as well. Like that's a massive thing. I've started now walking my dog at least once a day minimum, even if my parents walk him, just to try and keep up that active rest. That's
Mhm.
something I'm trying to do because I feel like it helps walking to the gym as well. Just incorporating some kind of active resting into
Yeah,
your into
very
your thing.
small
I think
habits. Very small
yeah,
habits make the difference.
yeah, especially like it's like yeah, small things over a long period of time will make the
Mhm.
difference for sure.
I agree. Okay, so let's keep going, Tom. We're gonna start with your leg surgery a few
Yes.
years ago. So, what can you tell us about it? About this?
So I have a condition, I guess is what it's called. It's not anyone's fault. It just happened genetically. There's no real explanation for it, but I get bone growths, basically bone tumors, but they're not cancerous, benign bone tumors, and they all seem to appear on my femur. So I think in total in my life, I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like four meshed into one. So see the big long cut that was like 4 or 5 tumors, like the size of my fist on the sides of my femur,
Mhm.
and the lower one was like 3 hooks. I'm trying to get the
Yeah.
camera right. 3 hooks, and basically, yeah, they stopped me from walking for a month, and then I had the leg surgery, which obviously, as you can see, wasn't the most comfortable. And then you got my elephant trunk leg um, there as well, and so
How do you
obviously,
think that this relates to your physique transformation?
well, I was always worried that I wouldn't
Something
be the
could
same.
go wrong, right? Or
Well, there was the issue with this operation was there was a risk I could lose all motion in my leg, which was obviously something I had to accept before I had the operation because it was like either I don't walk or I don't walk anyway. So it's like that was okay. I remember I had to get referred to a like top in the country specialist for this operation because the person that I was seeing didn't feel comfortable and actually like said to me at one point, "You might have to live with this." Like not
yeah,
being able to bend my leg for the rest of my life, which obviously would have sucked, would have stopped me from doing sports. Like I just joined the football team for my university, which now like I've just led to winning the double. Like a lot of things could have, yeah, just sliding that one in there.
yeah,
A lot of things could have gone wrong. So I obviously feel very lucky. but I also feel like I've now like my legs are like my strongest muscle, which is the crazy thing. I've had this crazy leg operation. I've got huge scars on my legs, but like I can squatting is like my strongest suit, like strongest thing, which is sick. Um, so I feel like yeah, I've gone over a hurdle in terms of physically, and now like it doesn't even affect me, which is crazy. Like that was 3 years ago. It's nuts.
Yeah, it seems like a blessing, for you to have like that kind of operation, that kind of surgery, and now that you can do what you're doing, it's amazing.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's keep going. Nutritional changes, because nutrition is the first point. So, what can you tell us about this?
Well, firstly, I just
How?
want to say, as Simon says in the trailer for our first podcast, nutrition is everything. Diet is everything.
Yeah.
um, so yeah, these are kind of like before and after pictures, as you can see on the left. If I guess if you're watching this, I used to indulge a bit more back in the day. What's not there is cans of Fosters because I drank a lot of those, a lot of beers, which I think didn't help. I think that's actually a massive thing as well at camp was I wasn't drinking anyway. Like I was drinking like once a week maybe,
Mhm.
which is maybe twice a week if I was
That's
lucky.
good.
But like that's it.
A good change, right?
Yeah. And like
A big
now
one.
now I'm trying to incorporate that again into life now. Like I didn't have a drink tonight, stuff like that. Stopped eating it. Uh Stop having any sugars or anything at 9. And that meant I can eat at 1 p.m. tomorrow for my 16-hour fast, which I do just because. Actually, I'll explain that. The So after 10 hours, your body starts to burn the fat in your not kidneys, your liver. After 10 hours, the body starts to burn the fat in your liver, and then after the 12 hours, it starts to burn the fat in your body up to 16 hours. Don't go past the 16 hours though, because then you'll start to burn muscle, which obviously you don't want to do. But the 16 hours fast is ideal. My mate actually that was messaging today. Turns out he does the same thing because Hot from Stranger Things, the cop, he did that to lose all his weight for season 4. Is it? I can't remember which season's out now. And
I
either
don't
of you
know.
watch Stranger Things?
Not really.
Damn it. Anyway, yeah. So I've gone from making mac and cheese to making whole wheat pasta with chicken and vegetables. That's a big
Dude,
difference, obviously.
Here's the real
And
is do you miss it? Like, do you miss the indulging the unhealthy food, the one that's like meant for
I
not health?
I feel like I mean, obviously everyone wouldn't mind some mac and cheese, homemade mac and cheese every so often. But I feel like that meal was something I made a few days ago. That slapped. That was so good. Like I put like chili flakes, paprika, load of spices on there, chicken, bacon, tomatoes, mushrooms. Like oh, so good.
yeah,
And then
there's
even
always there's always a way to make meals like a bit healthier. But what I want to say here is that there isn't a problem if you're eating like
no,
shit food or bad food, unhealthy food. I mean, at long term, it'll become a problem. But if you are like controlling your diet and finding the balance, that's the thing that you want to find.
yeah, yeah, no, for sure. And I also feel like that grenade bar, right? That white chocolate grenade bar is so good. It tastes so good. It's white chocolate. It's got 22 grams of protein in it, and it's like if I'm going to indulge myself in something, I might as well make it healthy. And this is actually why I think Simon they don't like. This is why I think bodybuilders and powerlifters don't actually eat protein bars because they still have loads of sugar and stuff in them. It's more of a if I'm going to indulge myself, which you should do, I'm going to indulge myself in something that will still progress me in what I'm wanting to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I just had my thought. Oh yeah, starting out like when you started to get into like eating healthier, were you worried that it was just gonna taste like horrible? It was gonna be boiled chicken, plain rice. Was that like a fear for you, or were you like, no, this like I can make healthy food taste incredible? Because like I know that that's the reality and like the misconception for a lot of people when they're starting to get into eating healthy is it's gonna taste terrible, it's gonna suck, you're just gonna have to power through it. Whereas like the reality is like it can taste incredible. But like, what were you worried? Were you worried about that, or was that like not really a fear for you?
Um, if if you'd asked me that question a few years ago, I would have said yes. But I feel like my palate has changed a lot over the last few years. Like, I actually just really enjoy eating a salad now. Just, I think it's a mental thing, and it's maybe something that people have to work on. But yeah, I would agree 3 years ago, but now I don't know. I'm very happy with my change.
And is that like just getting older and maturing in that sense, like your taste buds changing or whatever, or like do you feel that there were like other factors that contributed to that?
Probably a bit of both. I think it's a bit of both. I think maybe mentally I didn't care too much was
Sure.
the issue, whereas now I do.
Right.
And like, yes, I mean, and then also I think I've matured, and your taste buds mature with you. And Jesus Christ, I'm 22 now.
Mhm. Yeah, nutrition
Yeah,
becomes a problem when you're into this lifestyle. But there's always some help that you can take, some advice that you can take from YouTubers. Maybe you can take some advice from us. I hope. Maybe you can take advice from. This is what I recommend from nutritionists and maybe therapists. That's the best way to approach these topics because it can become like really tough to keep the balance between nutrition and fitness and just normal life. But there's a balance. I mean, you just have to find it, and you
mm,
just have to find a way that it works for you. So this is the way it works for Tom, and that it has worked. Um, it won't be the same for everybody. So there's always help you can take.
mm. And that is a little hint that we may be having a nutritionist as a guest on in the future. She said yes, by the way, boys.
Oh yeah. Okay,
That's a thing for another time. Next slide. Next slide.
that'd be amazing. Okay. So what about training, Tom? You just told us a little bit about it, but what is the first impression when you started training with us?
Jesus, this is hard. That's first impression. I'm sure Simon's the same when he first started training with you as well.
Absolutely. I gotta know what was your first impression of Ricky without his shirt on? Because mine was holy. Well, I don't know if I
Oh, wow,
can.
bro, both of you were like shredded abs. So like for me, it was like I guess maybe that was a bit of motivation. Like having two of my best mates at camp being shredded was a bit like okay, you know what, I'm gonna get shredded. And
Yeah.
but like I also just yeah, you guys were obviously in very good shape. But like at the same time, I enjoyed the workouts a lot. Like I must have I remember saying it to you during camp. Like I looked forward to working out, even though it was at 6 a.m. Yeah,
I like it.
some weeks were a little bit harder than others to get out of bed. I won't lie. But then we got a good system in place, and then we messed up for a week, and we didn't gym in the morning, and then we started gymming again. Like, yeah,
Well, we
it's
messed up like for 3 weeks, but it's fine.
no, it was like a week and a half.
It was rough. It was a rough time period.
Yeah, I,
We got
I
past
think
it.
that was just we were just tired at camp. But
I
like
think that
the
was
thing is
that
that we
was definitely burnout stage kicking in from kind of stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was
that
burnout
was
stage.
that was brutal.
But
What would you say that were your like the basic exercises that help you like to feel stronger to feel the work or every exercise? What kind of
pretty,
circuits or what kind of sets help you?
I think circuits and supersets were something that I think pushed me to another level that I've not been at before because like every day I'm doing a different circuit or like hitting like a circuit that hits all these different muscle groups and then it's like I feel like that progressed me a lot faster in my
Mhm.
opinion. That could just be for me. And then it did mean that those deadlifts, like my deadlift, I think especially was the one that went up quite quickly at first. It was kind of like deadlift went up quite quickly at first, then squat started to catch up. Like no, my squat was higher, so I feel like it was. That's if I'm doing it like this.
Okay.
Squat was higher. Deadlift did do this,
Yeah.
which was quite cool.
Yeah.
And obviously I hit that over 2 plate bench. Yes, did that, and
Yeah.
like,
I'll get there.
but like
Get there too.
with the crazy thing with the bench thing was all it did was take one change and add one more bench or chest focused day to my week for like I think it was like 2 weeks. That was it,
Yeah.
and it flew up as well. So I think circuits are the main one for me. Like today's circuit, which was chin ups, face pulls with a pause, and then bicep curls. I was in agony, but like now I feel fine, and I think it's also getting past that week or week and a half where your body hurts, and then once you're past that week and a half, it just feels really good. Training just feels great.
Yeah. Just for everybody to know, we follow like a strength-based method mixed with a CrossFit one. So we get functional, we get stronger, and we get a little bit of cardio in every day. So it's like a weird kind of training, but it works.
As
It
Yeah,
someone
works
who
anyway.
normally trains for hypertrophy, it's a weird change, but once you make the change, it gets easier and I prefer it over hypertrophy. In the end, it was really really hard in the beginning, especially
yeah.
getting proper form down. Uh, but yeah, I think that in the end I prefer it over hypertrophy.
Yeah.
No, yes, it's been my favorite type of working out,
Yeah,
and like I mean, you guys can literally see on the screen. Like this is me before, during, and then this is me at home now. Like that's a huge change in
absolutely insane.
physics.
Yeah. And
So
also with this, you can always ask for advice to certified coaches or people who know.
But
So there's nothing wrong with training powerlifting or with training bodybuilding. It's just whatever you want to do at the end. So this has worked very, very good for Tom. So what can you tell us about your numbers, your lifts?
my numbers for lifts. So what I'd say I
Because
started
Tom is very
reckoning.
strong, I gotta say.
Yeah, so I think I'm just below 180 for low bar squats. I
180
think I'm
kilos.
just kilos. Yes, sorry, my pounds. Yeah, so just under 180 kilos, which is for you Americans. Uh,
Like 395, something like that. 390.
so yeah, just under 396 pounds. On squat on sumos, I did do was it I did do was it 4 plates
Yeah,
either
it was
side?
405, like 183 kilos. And for bench, he
Yeah,
just surpassed 100 kilos. So
yeah. So I got past 100 kilos on the bench as well. I think right now I'm not as strong as I was when I did the maxes, but that's because I'm cutting. Like I'm there, but I'm not like there currently.
you'll get
Because
there.
I'm
Doesn't matter.
yeah no,
You're
no like
getting
next time I start bulking again or just doing maintain weight, then I think I'll fly again, which is crazy. Um, but I'm going to Greece soon.
forward to it.
I want to make sure that the stomach's looking toned.
Yeah, yeah. And it's okay if you want to apply like those kind of methods. It's totally fine. I mean, it's not like the common way to do it, but it's like a faster way. So
Yeah,
it's fine. It's working for you as long as it is working, and that you're getting the results you want. You gotta keep doing it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's working. This type of workout's working for me. I think maybe for my body type, it really works. Um, and like even yeah, as Simon said, like once you get past that first week and a half, like it does hurt, but you just start seeing like my weight strength started going up very quickly. I think about half. I say about 4 or 5 weeks in. Would you say?
Yeah, like 6 weeks. Of
Yeah, like I remember. I think it was the fourth week. I was repping what used to be my one rep max on squats, and like that's I was beyond that already, and it was like
Yeah, and
okay,
also we did a lot of technique fixes, so
yes,
that
technique
is
fixes were huge.
that is the base.
Yeah, and
Fix your technique.
I'm still fixing the technique.
Yeah, because there's no point where you feel like the technique is perfect. You know, there you can always fix something,
Yeah,
and I mean it can be tiring, it can be tough, but you'll improve like a lot. You'll improve a lot.
yeah. You know, the technique I think has been a massive help, and even recently, it's about kind of bracing my core, pulling my bum in basically for my squats,
Yeah,
leaning and hinging forwards rather than just like sticking my bum out, and that's for my back especially. Like this week, when I did the squats, I really focused on keeping that core tight and keeping that bum in because I've had a lot of back problems, like lower back pains during the training, and I haven't had any back issues, which is amazing. So it's like just those tiny little things are allowing me to stay at tip top shape, and yeah, it's great.
that's cool. I can say here that when you start feeling your body and like knowing what your body is saying to you, you'll start surpassing your plateaus. Because a lot of people gets stuck in, I don't know, two plate bench or maybe three plate squat, and we feel it like impossible just to surpass that point. But it doesn't have to be impossible. I mean, we humans are made for this to improve. We're made for being stronger as long as we're doing things right. So it's just a matter to ask for advice and to just try to get some things from everybody so you'll improve a lot. Because I remember I couldn't surpass the two plate bench and I had to do a lot of things and not only physical things but mental things just to get like going on. You know?
But yeah, and even whilst I was at the gym today, I was sharing the bench with someone who works there, and she's ex powerlifter as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so I was pushing my bench away from myself rather than kind of up towards
Hmm.
the bench in a sense. And she just said tweak that because I failed like after 2 reps on my final set, and then I did it again and I did all the reps. And I was like, that's like
Yeah, what
it's yeah,
happened?
yeah. Technique's huge, and it can make a huge difference to you and how much you can go from like one thing to skyrocket to another, which I've noticed. Yeah.
Real quick, trailing back to the two plate, three plate thing that Ricky was talking about. How do you get past the mental cap in what you can do, right? Because once you hit two plates, like you were saying, a lot of people say like that's all I can ever do, right? And that's their mental cap. It's not their physical cap. Let's say they can do three plates on bench, and they don't know yet. They just got to work for it. But mentally, they can only do two. Like, how do you get past that? How do you coach them through that to the point where they're like, you know what, screw it, I can do it, and they can go to get those three plates or however much they need to get or want to get
Yeah,
once.
sure. Yeah, it becomes a problem. First of all, You gotta erase all the expectations that you have about yourself, and don't try to compromise like with a number. That's my first advice because I never expected lifting maybe 275, and when I less expected it, it happened, and I hit 315, and I kept going, you know. If there's people who have done it, why won't you be able to do it, you know? But just try to erase that expectations of you and just get the work in, and when you less think about it, you will be repping your one rep max, or as Tom said, it it is just a matter to let the ego lifting by the side, and just to start getting the work in. That's all I can say.
So like summarize that. Like what I understood from that is what you're trying to say is, um, stop thinking about what you can do and just start working, and you'll see
Sure.
progression. Okay,
Just make sure that you're like getting the basics in and the
sure.
work in, and that's everything that you can do. You
And
cannot
aside,
lift. You cannot say, "Oh, I want to lift 315 by the next week,"
right.
because maybe it is impossible. But just say, "I want to lift 315 someday." Okay, and am I doing the right things to get there? I think so. Let's keep going, and you'll get there.
So keep your head down and keep working.
Yeah,
All right.
that's the
I like
best
it.
advice that I can give.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
Okay, so after training Tom, okay, we want to see a little bit of Tom's. Okay, not this.
That's you filming that, Ricky.
Wasn't me. Okay, so
This
Tom
this is quite
here
early on,
squatting. Yeah, it was earlier in summer. It is like what, like two
maybe 3 weeks in.
75?
I was 2 plates and a 15.
No, I think it is more.
I think
I
that's
think it
15.
is no 50.
Thir-
No,
30 maybe.
it is like 35, I think. So it would be like 295 for reps. So we can see that Tom is squatting barefooted. He's struggling a little bit, but do you remember this leg that we saw in the leg surgery?
Yeah,
The
that's the
same
leg.
leg.
That's the leg. Yeah, that's the leg that had the leg surgery.
Did you feel like this squat's comfortable or not that much?
They're more comfortable now for sure.
We can
Like
see
yeah,
that
wait, yeah, you can see the bum come out too much.
yeah, for sure. He doesn't use a belt. He doesn't use knee sleeves, so he's raw,
Yeah,
completely raw. So I
always
like
raw.
that. I like that because you can get to the gym and just do whatever you want, and you don't have to rely on equipment, and that's a big thing.
Yeah, that was definitely
Okay.
But
something
yeah,
I used to do that set me back a little bit. Was I'd bring my equipment and then I'd have it there and I couldn't stray from the thing that I wanted to get done. Whereas like if my knee started hurting mid set, I couldn't say screw it, I'm gonna go hit chest if I already got my belt, my knee braces, straps, and everything with
Yeah,
me. Because then it's like I wasted bringing it all.
yeah, that's very important, and that's one thing that I focused on, just to try to be as primitive as you can. If you
Absolutely,
have a barbell and you have some plates, so let's train.
yeah, for sure.
yeah, yeah. I was. Oh, wait, pause it for a second. Um, I do want to say like on the doing it raw. Like today, for example, for me, I was doing RDLs. I had no straps, and
Yeah,
my grip was on fire. But I still made sure I completed all those reps. Like, and I feel like that actually benefited me a lot because
yeah,
I
a
mean, yeah,
little
my
bit of
forearms on
grip
fire.
work.
Yeah, I was just working on my grip. Yeah, I was doing RDLs at the same time. I got told off for dropping the weight though. Oops. But yeah, like I personally, I guess everything we got, everything that we say, you guys have got to take with a pinch of salt because obviously it's for us. But no, I agree with Ricky. I quite like the, I guess, raw dog in it.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong in having your equipment, maybe your belt, your wrist wraps, your knee sleeves, your shoes, but there's people who cannot afford that, and there's people who don't want to spend money on that. So there's always a way to keep getting the workouts in and not relying on equipment. So that's what I love about it.
Absolutely. And then real quick, while we're still on squats, or while we're still watching the squat video, Tom, I've got a video on my phone of you failing 315, and then another one of you 3 days later repping it. Um, was that a you failed it because you were tired, like a pre-workout, or was there something you aren't telling us that you did within those 3 days? Not steroids, but like just like something you trained within 3 days that just got you to that point to be able to just start repping it out of nowhere like it was nothing.
I think it was just a mental thing on that day.
I think it was.
Uh, I was
How'd
just
you get over that
tired.
mental?
I think I just told myself I could do it. To be honest, I knew I'd been working towards it, and like I knew I'd done one rep right, and like I did the first rep, and then
Yeah,
I failed the second rep quite
yeah,
badly, and I was like, I know I can do more, so I just did. If that makes sense, which is kind of a weird thing to process, but like, yeah, it was. I kind of analyzed what I'd done wrong with the rep, and I feel like I'd not braced enough and didn't quite have the right form, and so I just just a slight tweak, and I could do this, and I did it, which was
for
sick.
sure.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. I remember that exactly.
Yeah. All right.
That was,
Ricky was
that was
dancing too. It
crazy.
was a great video. I've got that isolated from it. It was I love it. One of my favorite videos on my phone is Ricky dancing.
Okay. So let's
All
go to the
right,
bench.
this is my max bench. Ooh,
Okay.
sheesh.
Okay, okay, okay.
Oh, that was the lag. That was lag on the video. It wasn't me pausing.
Bench is the scariest move ever. This moment, when you're about to hit a bench PR, this moment is terrible. It's terrible. I know.
Yeah, for sure.
But he did it. I mean, maybe technique wasn't like this mm, the best. Maybe it wasn't like a powerlifting technique, but he got the weight
For
and
sure.
he just got better in weeks, in a matter of weeks. So
Yeah, I remember struggling to do what was it, 70 kilos. Well, I think jump Ricky like right at the start when I was trying to rep like 70 kilos. I was struggling like crazy.
yeah, one plate was very, very hard for Tom. And just to see him doing more than two plates, it's amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go to deadlifts now. So this was kind of cheap pool, right? Sumo pool.
Yeah, get a little bit stuck with the lockout, but
Okay, a little bit of hinge. You look like a beast there. Okay, what we want to say, like watching these videos, we have some more videos here. Is that Tom got really strong, and it isn't that he got like a lot of weight, like body weight, but he started focusing on technique, eating, and I mean just trying to thrive a lot.
so
He's
what's
still
that?
very
That's
fit.
three. How many plates is that?
Three plates.
3 plates, yeah.
What can you say about these pictures, Tom?
Well, I'm pretty big, but like yeah, like I was struggling with the what is it, the 2 plates. Um, yeah, I was struggling with the two plates and like either 30 or the 15 or whatever, and these seem easier, and it's three plates.
Yeah, and technique looks way better.
Yeah, and like I'm pulling the bar down onto my shoulders, like things I didn't know about before, stuff like that.
And
But
here
like,
Tom started using Converse, so
yes,
it's
man
amazing.
at work.
Okay, these are
Yeah,
some post quads. So I want you to see the depth here.
yes.
How many places that? Is that three?
This is
Uh,
like
I
275
can't
or
tell.
something.
Two plates.
Got
Two
it.
plates. Five.
Two plates and it is like 245, I think.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah,
Like 113 kilos, 111 kilos.
yeah, yeah. These are paused squats, weren't
So
they?
day by day, techniques were improving a lot.
Yeah,
Weights were flying, and Tom wasn't struggling a lot. For what can I see?
yeah. In the moment, I was struggling like crazy.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna die," but it doesn't look like it, which is the crazy thing. This is what I find crazy about some of these videos. Is I remember thinking in the moment, like, "Oh my god, this is so much weight," but then in the video, it doesn't look
Yeah, it looks like
necessarily like that, which is
it really
I think is
is.
crazy. Cool, that's a deep squat. I'm happy with that.
Oh my god. Wait.
But yeah, it's been a good journey, I think, and
Yeah, but let's say that you saw a lot of benefits as well because of your starting point. You know,
yes,
you weren't like a really advanced lifter, but you had your experience. So this is the perfect point where you can like start improving like crazy. So that's one thing that everybody can take advantage of. Just to you just have to know like what is your starting point, and that's all.
hmm. Yeah, that's fair. Simon, how are you tired, bro? It's 1:04 for me.
Hey man, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm definitely not tired. I definitely wasn't at like a girls' volleyball practice all day dealing with idiots. I mean, not idiots.
Bear in mind, I might watch this.
Yeah, they're definitely not idiots. Well, some of them are idiots. I don't know. But yeah, just really tired.
Yeah,
Okay, so we just saw this. Let's keep going.
yes. This is
Oh, the
progress, though.
lads.
This is progress pictures, though,
For sure.
because like these first two, I'm. This is about 2 weeks. This is like 2 weeks pre-camp, and then I'd say a week, and then obviously I went out with the CITs, and then this is a month later, and like
Which one is a
abs-
month later? The one
the,
in the
the
left, right?
one with you,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah. Like there's a significant, like you can just tell, like physically, I look different, which is crazy.
You look like a different person, honestly.
Mm.
What can you say about your face transformation? About your
I think
chin?
the face transformation is the big one. I don't know if you can tell with this awful angle on here, but like I've got more of a jawline. Like it's just the fat in my face has gone a lot, which is sick. I'm less round. It's really obvious with the before pictures of me when I was like heavier, fatter. It's really obvious, like the face change for sure. I think the hair helps as well. I won't lie, but I will say it's the physical changes.
What would you say is the best hairstyle for fitness, for the fitness industry?
Longer hair, longer hair. Definitely.
I don't know. It depends.
For me, it's longer hair. Obviously, for Simon, longer hair, and then you've got like longish hair. So like it all works.
Yeah, they all work. Okay, just for you guys to know, this is me, the one on the right, this Mexican puppy. This American puppy in the middle is Simon, and the other guy is some guy we're talking about in the podcast. So it's a dog.
Just some guy.
So finally, Tom, what can you say about your transformation?
It's been amazing, and it's very strange this podcast to kind of like analyze it, but I hope my hope is that this helps people and that this can like I don't know what the word is, but maybe inspire people. That'd be
Yeah,
amazing. Uh,
yeah, because people always like feel it really tough to make a transformation. Even for me, I had to wait like until maybe the 6th month when I joined the gym just to see some improvements, to see some changes. And for you, with the appropriate advice, you did it fast, and
mm,
you didn't have to do like a lot of supplementation, a lot of research. You just have to find someone who knows about it, who has done it, someone who is appropriate to give
yeah,
you nutritional advice.
yeah,
That's pretty much all. Just get the work in. That's Tom. Because
yeah.
can you
I've
tell us
learned.
like how many hours did you spend in the gym, or how do you feel like the proportions in time when you're in the gym? Like, do you feel that you spend a lot of time in the gym, or is it like
I
just
guess I
normal?
guess if you were to add up over the whole 10 weeks, then in theory, yeah, I've been in the gym a lot. But in terms of the 24 hours of the day, I'm not in there that much. Like what, an
Yeah, it
hour,
is nothing.
hour and a half, maybe 2 hours if it's a longer session.
Yeah,
Like you're not really in there that long. And for me, if I was to give like tips, is like the main things I did were I worked out harder. I had a much better training program. I ate a lot more protein. My diet was much more protein focused. I was smarter. Like when I was bulking, I wouldn't just eat sugar. I would actually eat, well, try to at camp, eat good carbs. And then when I was cutting, I learned about the 16-hour fasting thing, which was amazing. And it's just being, I just learned a lot. I learned so much, obviously, from Frida, who's a nutritionist, and you and Simon, and then having Sen there as well. Like, yeah, I learned a lot, and I guess yeah, I'm hoping that I can help someone else, which is sick.
yeah. I mean, one thing with Tom is that he's always asking questions. That helps a lot. Keep asking them.
Yes,
Keep asking everything because it helps. You know, if you ask the right people, you will improve. You will get better. Just ask. Make sure the basics are in. Make sure the words getting in. The work's going in, and just keep consistent. Keep consistent. That's pretty
mm,
much all that has worked for Tom. And for me, at least for me, it is like the craziest transformation like overall that I have seen. Because we're not just talking about physical transformation, but it is like a lifestyle transformation, diet, strength. Mm, it is like a deeper transformation, I can say. And this is something that he wants to keep doing all of his life. So
it's
that is,
changed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a transformation that we all want. We just don't want just to have abs. I mean, we gotta go further.
Mm.
That would
No,
be
yeah,
all for me.
and perks is that you can make friends in the way.
Yeah, friends like that. What can
Perfect.
you say about
Well,
it, Simon?
So
For you, what do you think about Tom's transformation?
I think it's absolutely incredible. I think it's one of the most impressive ones I've ever seen, especially in that time period. First day, saw this guy walk in, looked like, you know, your average guy, um, not super overweight, not super skinny, didn't have abs. Uh, but I mean, like, he showed extraordinary dedication, and just like proved that he wanted it. And I think that's what got him to where he is. It was the mindset that he kept, and I think that that's what really impressed me is the fact that he showed that he deserved what he got, and not that I'll go every once in a while, but I want more. He wanted more, so he went and worked for more, and I think that that's what was really impressive about his transformation is he really showed the dedication.
I'm gonna get emotional. Jesus.
Yeah, bro. Well, there's this phrase that I remember when Simon was talking that we don't have what we deserve, We have what we work for. So this applies totally. Um, I don't know. I hope that this works for more than one person. And see you guys in the next one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure to subscribe if you guys are new around here. I'm gonna have to end this. I'm getting emotional. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions. Or check out our socials. We have an Instagram at ISOF_TV. So go check that out.
All lowercase.
Yes, all lowercase. Just just to clarify. Check out our TikTok where we posted. We are pre-recording these, but posted our first trailer. So there will be more stuff on TikTok, which is at the Blue Podcast. And yeah, hopefully a lot more stuff for you to look forward to and enjoy and learn, which is what I think is the most amazing thing about this. So yeah, cheers, guys.
Yes. Cheers, guys.